Time for a soccer down here 1v1, and technically it's an odd man rush. It's a 2v1 because I am in the office. I'm in Office HD, and for this one, we go to Costa Rica, which is yet another first here at SDH. Catching up with Santana Pressley, Hannah Behner, who have gone from, all right, so let me see if I got this right. So Sprayberry High School, Louisiana Monroe, Coastal Carolina, Young Harris, Cambridge High, Georgia Impact, and now Dimas Escazu in Costa Rica. Did I miss anything?
Nope, you nailed it.
Got it.
All right. So it is from the Georgia high school ranks to the college ranks, to Georgia Impact, and now in training camp down in Costa Rica. Ladies, thanks for hanging out for a 2v1.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
All right. So I guess what we'll do is I've got a number between 1 and 15. And Santana, give me a number, and we'll play Price is Right rules as to who gets to determine who answers questions first. So, Santana, give me a number.
7.
Hannah.
13.
All right. Hannah went over. It was 11. So, Santana, you have the option of either answering questions first or having Hannah answer questions first, since you won the contest.
I guess I'll go ahead and go first.
All right. So, what's it like down there in training camp? Because last time I checked, there are direct flights from Atlanta to San Jose, Costa Rica, but it's still a pretty far poke. What's it been like so far?
The trip here was really nice. It was like 4 hours, so it was super quick. I was a little nervous. This is my first time going outside the country, so I didn't really know what to expect. But when I got here, it's beautiful. The weather's nice. I was a little nervous meeting the team at first. I mean, I don't speak Spanish very well, but the girls are very welcoming. There's English speakers on the team that's been helping me out, translating. I've been learning Spanish here and there, but the girls here have made it a wonderful experience so far. I love it here.
All right, Hannah, what about for you?
Yeah, so this isn't my first time playing out of the country. Over the summer, I played on a team in Sweden. Wasn't professional, but I was still playing out of the country, and it was really fun. So shorter flight to Costa Rica than to Sweden. But came in. For me, it's been the heat more than anything. Obviously, in Atlanta, it's not 80-degree weather. So that's probably what threw me in the loop more than anything. But other than that, yeah, same thing. A little bit of a language barrier. I studied Spanish a bit in like high school and stuff, so I have a good basic knowledge of it. But the girls have been super helpful in teaching us as well. And then they're also wanting to learn English at the same time. So, and then other than that, it's just been like any other type of preseason, I'd say. Just a lot of conditioning, a lot of working and running. And here trainings are at, 5:30 in the morning. So we're up early every day.
How did this come about? We'll do this in snake fashion. So how did this come about, Hannah? How did the contact happen with you with it's like, hey, you look on your phone or your email and it's like Costa Rica. I don't get that, I don't get that code on my phone. How did all this come about?
So I actually have a connection. So back when I first moved to Atlanta, I grew up in Chicago, but when I moved to Atlanta, the first team I played for, I met this coach. His name is Coach Mike. And ever since I met him, I've been training with him since I was 11. So known him for about a decade now. And he came to me about maybe a year ago or something saying, hey, I have an opportunity for you to come play in Costa Rica. And I was like, oh, that's sick. And at the time I was finishing college. I graduated, May 23. So at the time, I was still trying to figure out, what I'm wanting to do, how I want to go about things post-college. So I kept in contact with him about it. And then, eventually just told him, I was like, I'm in, let's do it. So I had a connection who has connections here, basically.
So Santana, how did it work on your end?
I actually didn't know if I wanted to continue playing soccer. I didn't have a great last year. I got COVID pretty bad for my last year of college, so it hit me pretty rough. Kind of deciding, do I want to keep playing soccer? And Coach Mike actually reached out to me. I didn't know him personally, but he just found me on social media. I played for Georgia Impact in the summer for the WPSL team. He went to a couple games, and he saw me, so he's like, here's an opportunity in Costa Rica, what's up? And I was like, I guess, this is a sign, I got to keep going. So I came here, and I'm so grateful.
And Santana, as we look at all of this, when both of you look back at the time with Impact and how that's been that bridge, what's it like to have all of these different parts of your career, and then Georgia Impact being a part of this, obviously with the relationship with Coach Mike as well. But Georgia Impact is now in Costa Rica. How wild is that?
That's wild. Yeah, and I didn't know that Coach Mike had reached out to Santana about it. So it's also one of those things where it's like small world. Coach Mike didn't know I knew her because we had also played at SSA at one point together. Right. So we knew each other from playing there. So then, Coach Mike told me one day, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm talking to Santana. And I'm like, I know Santana. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah. Right. So, and then she played on the Impact WPSL team. I played at Impact Club, so pre-college. But I'm hoping to maybe play on Impact this summer, so we'll see.
So, yeah, absolutely, small world. And I think that's part of the cool aspect of all of this is that, you could be coming at it from different angles and you still end up heading in the same direction in all of this. How has training camp been so far on the field? I know, obviously, you mentioned the language barriers and everybody getting acquainted with one another. I think I was looking at the research. Katrina Wetherill has some experience out of Marquette, so she's another U.S. influence. What's it been like, getting back into training camp and getting ready for a season in short order?
I'd say it's going pretty well. It's very difficult physically. Lots of, again, Hannah said, conditioning. We're playing a lot. Mentally tired, waking up at 4:30 a.m. every morning. But we love the grind. Like, I'm enjoying it. I love it.
Yeah, no. I would say it's difficult waking up in the morning, but it's honestly not. For me, it hasn't been, just because it's also one of those realizations of like, for me, like, these are like my dreams coming true. And I just genuinely enjoy doing it and waking up in the morning. And then I don't know if you've seen what the stadium looks like, the environment and the, I'm forgetting the word for it, but it looks so sick. I don't get over there's all these like mountains and the sunrise. It's beautiful. So, other than that, preseason wise, on the field, we started noticing you start seeing the differences between American soccer and any other country, because obviously everywhere plays different. So the playing style we've also slowly been adjusting to as we've been here. Obviously we came in hard. We came in the American way and just started running circles and just doing everything. And then now we're kind of starting to get the tempo, starting to get, exactly, playing style, what the coach wants, and all that stuff as well. So there's been that adjustment as time has gone on as well.
I was going to ask, how different is the styles and getting ready for league play down there in Costa Rica? How different is it from what you're used to doing on an NCAA level, whether it's D1, D2, or playing in Sweden or what have you? How different is league play, and how much did you know about the league going into this?
I definitely did some research going into it, watching it. The one thing I would say is it's definitely calmer. I say calm because I wouldn't say slower, because we can pick up the pace, but there's definitely a lot more thought into it, a bit more possession. I feel like for me personally in America, it's a lot of athleticism. You send your fast players up top and you're sending balls over the back line all the time. But here it's definitely more thoughtful, more possession based. So just thinking a little bit more now, basically.
All right. Yeah. So Santana, let me ask you this. What part of your game are you looking to most improve upon with your time down there at Dimas Escazu?
I guess playing like in a D1 environment, I'm very used to like the pressure. Like, you got to be fit. You got to be on top of your game. Like, it's everywhere. It's crazy. But then when you come here, I was told by the coaches, like, you need to calm down. Like, you're running too much, or you're thinking too much. Like, you're doing too much. All you need to do is just play, calm down. Like, you're just relax. So I'm adjusting to that, definitely.
All right. So, Hannah, what about on your end? I know, obviously, we've mentioned that you've played internationally as well, but how different is it in Costa Rica? Is it the same kind of thing where they're just having to kind of mellow out a little bit, and it's just like everything's cool, just let it happen?
Yeah, pretty much, honestly. And something that we've been talking about and laughing about is one thing about Costa Rican culture is they have this slogan called Pura Vida, which basically the direct translation is pure life, but it's very go with the flow, and that is how everybody is, and it's how everybody operated. So it's that vibe, that same idea on the field. They're always telling us, calma, like calm down, or play slower. Yeah, when they're telling us to stop running so much, and I'm like, why? Like, why would I stop running? So yeah, no, it's definitely the Costa Rica, and then specifically comparing Costa Rica to playing in Sweden. Again, Sweden, it wasn't a professional level, but I would say the difference is definitely the pace, just more than anything.
Santana Pressley and Hannah Behner hanging out with us as they are adding Costa Rica to their resumes when it comes to playing. Dimas Escazu has two folks tied to Impact, tied to Georgia high schools, and they're now playing down in Costa Rica right now. They're in training camp getting ready for the season as we kind of follow along on social media and the – all right, so let me ask. Is it the Instagram or the IG? Which one is it?
I say the IG.
I say the Instagram.
So I guess it depends.
Because that's how I've been kind of keeping an eye on things when all of this was arranged and we were trying to figure out when to do it. That was how I was following along, was on Instagram, was trying to see how the stadium was and how the drills were and the introductions and how the team was handling things. And so that's what I've been doing anyways, following along on Instagram. When it comes to Costa Rica itself, you mentioned Pura Vida. Santana, what's it been like when you're outside of practice and you're outside of training and you're outside of the grind and not apparently running as much, but what's it been like to experience the culture down there when you have those opportunities to?
It's beautiful. Me and Hannah, we did a lot of adventuring out here. We've been to multiple parks. We got food. It's a perfect area, Escazu, because we can walk anywhere at the convenience store. Whatever you need, it's all right here. So it's been pretty nice seeing all the people walking around. Like it's chill. I love it.
All right. So Hannah, what about you?
Yeah, basically, we've kind of been doing the same things, walking a lot of local parks, sightseeing type stuff, and then at the same time, tons of restaurants with either national dishes or other types of food. So I'm a foodie. I love trying new things. And then, we do a lot of recovery. So, stretching in the meantime. We have access to a pool. We'll do pool recovery sessions after every practice. Sometimes a nap if it's needed. But other than that, cooking, meal prepping, kind of getting that stuff done and just hanging out for now.
When it comes to other college athletes who are presented with an opportunity to play in a country that is a 4-hour flight away, or that is an entire continent away, even though, as you said, Hannah, in your case, it wasn't any kind of a professional league. What would you say to those individuals who are given that kind of an opportunity to do something like the two of you are doing? What would you say to these folks?
Be grateful, take it. A lot of people don't get these opportunities. Again, I didn't know if I was going to play soccer until Mike reached out, and that one opportunity changes everything. Now I'm thinking about where I'm going to go next.
Yeah, no, I would, if it's something that you've always wanted and dreamt of, and, for me as a kid, people would be like, where do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, a professional soccer player. But I would say it, but there was always a part of me that doubted it. So getting the opportunity to do it was, again, mind-blowing for me and honestly really heartwarming. So I am beyond, grateful, and so I'm just so happy I took the opportunity because, even I did some thinking. It's not as easy as someone tells you and you're like, yeah, sure, let's go do it. You have to think about everything, every component, every aspect of what even moving to a different country consists of, not even the soccer side of it. So there was still definitely thought. So I would say, think about it. Don't just hop into anything. But at the end of the day, I would say do it because, again, you also only have, this is so corny, but like you only got one life. Like you got to do it. So yeah, and don't live life with any regrets either. Because another thing I was thinking of was, what if I don't take it and then I regret it in the future? Or I just don't like living with what ifs. You know, like, oh, what if I did this? Or what if I didn't go to Costa Rica or did go to Costa Rica? So I personally am a think, but like go for it and do what you've always kind of wanted to do.
When it comes to, and this is going to sound very punnish, and I apologize. When it comes to Georgia Impact, how has Impact impacted both of your careers as a part of that path to get to the? See, I told you it was punny. I told you it was punny, and I knew it was coming. How has Impact been a part of this whole process? What did you learn while you guys were there in your various versions of it? How did impact you into the career that you've been going after, whether it's collegiate and now here playing down in Costa Rica?
Well, I played for Georgia Impact just for one summer, and usually I play summer ball to stay fit for college, for fun. But the coaching staff and the girls I played with, we were amazing for our first season. Coaches grew me as a player, the girls as well. Again, Mike saw me at one of those games and gave me the opportunity to come here. So everything's tied one way or another. But yeah.
You're being humble too. You were also captain of the WPSL team, girl.
Yes.
And that's also part of the reason Mike picked you up as well. Your leadership. Anyway, she's being humble. She's being humble. Yeah, so my experience with Impact was a bit different. I played with them for 3 seasons before getting into college. So that's what my sophomore year of high school is when I joined Impact. I joined Impact because I had a friend tell me actually that I used to play with at a different club, and she was like, you should come to Impact. They help you with getting into college soccer. And at the time, I actually didn't even know that was an option. Me and my family, like I'm the oldest child, so like we had no idea what anything is or how life goes. So yeah, I had a friend say, come to Impact and you can play college soccer. And I was like, and you got to think like sophomore year of high school, I would consider like late to the game of like college recruiting. Maybe not, but that's how I feel. But so yeah, that's when I joined Impact. So I was like, let's see if I can play college soccer. So that's what I did. And, you know, even my coach at Impact, he helped me tremendously with, I would say, my soccer IQ. He knew the game very well and he knew how to coach it. So I give him a lot of credit for just my soccer knowledge and yeah, field IQ and all that stuff in general. And yeah, Impact's literally the reason I got into college soccer. Who knows if I would have gotten into college soccer or done it, or, you know, at what level, with what success, that type of stuff. And then one of my assistant coaches at Impact ended up being the head coach at Young Harris, and he's the one that recruited me. So then that's when connections come back into it as well. So I don't even know what would happen if I didn't go to Impact, to be honest.
Butterfly effect.
So really, like, it's just so strange. But yeah.
When does the season start?
So typically it would start in February, but the Costa Rican national team qualified for, it's either the Gold Cup or the Panam game, I forget. They qualified for a tournament. So what they've done is, because of the international break, they've pushed back our season to March.
So you guys get another 6 weeks of pura vida and not running around all day and figuring out what food you want to take. So that's about right?
Yep, pretty much. We're in a tournament next weekend. Mm-hmm. I forget what type of tournament. It's not a charity. I forget what they're called.
Yeah, it's just like a preseason.
But yeah, like we're in a preseason tournament next weekend, and then after that, we typically do scrimmages on Saturdays, and then yeah, the season will start in March.
Okay, so now it's time for the promos, and let's see if you remember all of your social media handles. Santana, if anybody wants to follow you on social media and follow along in your adventures, how do they do it?
My Instagram is santana.pressley, santana.pressley, and the same for my TikTok, but 3 Y's at the end of Pressley.
Pressley. Okay. All right. So, Hannah, what about you?
Same for both. Instagram and TikTok are both hannah.behner. It's Hannah with the H at the end, the spell it. And my last name is Behner. So you can find me at hannah.behner on both platforms.
All right. So, all right. Hannah Behner, Young Harris, Cambridge High, Santana Pressley, Sprayberry High, Louisiana Monroe, Coastal Carolina, hanging out down at Dimas Escazu in the Costa Rican League. Guys, thanks for hanging out in the middle of the afternoon on a Sunday and answering questions about this part of your life that you are now diving into. Thanks for being a part of a 2v1 here on SDH. Be safe. We'll be keeping an eye on things, and especially when the season starts. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.